Good morning, this is Justine Huxley, the voice of Wattson on Apex Legends, and you're listening to the Good Morning Guys podcast. One of my favorite Wattson lines is, "I'm currently at the top of my game." Get it?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this, our 86th episode of the Good Morning Guys podcast. As always, we are discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and play. I am one of your hosts, the often misunderstood Brazilian mountaineer, Lucas Ham Swisher. Hello. Also with me, the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news, spoilers, and Long John Silver's fine dining, Patrick Novosel.
I like Long John Silver's, but I would not consider it fine dining.
That might be in air quotes. Usually next to him, but unfortunately only with us in spirit, the volleyballing beast of the East who can make you laugh in 3 words or less or your money back, Ronnie Johantges. Hi. There it is. And our final member of the GMG Quadfecta who's got music in his heart, Doctor Who on his brain, and La Coretta, either on speed dial or in his old estomago, Marc Boucher.
Bonjour, mes amis. I am so ecstatic.
Oui. This is a special episode of the Good Morning Guys. But the specialness...
Come on, man. French it up.
French it up. Toute le fruit. The specialness of our episode is going to have to wait. We're just going to have to be the three of us for now, being boring and talking about our lives in real life, what's been going on. So we're going to hold off on the Frenchness of our episode, or the funness, or whatever ness I can think of. I'm going to stop
All
now.
the nesses.
Let's just get right into the big news. Mark got a haircut and his beard is so much smaller, and I am so disappointed right now.
But praise the good, sweet Lord, though, because freedom, absolute and total freedom. Yes.
Where in the world did you get a haircut?
Yeah.
So the nice thing is, here in the state of Virginia, they allow you, even though all the hair salons and barbershops are shut down, they technically allow you to do one-on-one
in
hair
back alleys.
services. Yes, in secret. In the dark of night.
Yes. In the dark of night.
Yes.
I am haircutting man.
It's the new mob. I hear you need a haircut. I know a guy.
You got the stuff. But no, you are allowed to do one-on-one services if basically you just have to make sure all your stuff gets disinfected and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And so there's a lady at our church that is a hairstylist, and she had posted something on Facebook pertaining to that fact, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need a haircut so bad.
Yeah, man. You got to leverage those connections. That's one of the great things about church. It's about, who you know. Here in Brazil, we've had lots of moments where we just wound up telling people at our church, oh, we had this problem. They're like, I know a guy. I know a girl. You need a lawyer? You need a pet groomer? You need your beard shaved? We got a pet groomer. He also shaves beards by night.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing by night.
Just
that's
by
the
night.
beautiful
by day?
thing about That's the beautiful thing about the church, though, is like it's basically a melting pot of people from different backgrounds, and you all come together. And so this lady was super nice, and I drove an hour and change to get it, but it was so worth it because she was nice enough to meet up with me and give me a haircut, get my beard trimmed, all that fun stuff.
Where did you guys meet? Like at a Long John Silver's or Dunkin' Donuts?
No. No, because I would be throwing up in my mouth the whole time. No, we actually
you got a mask on.
Yeah. Did she have to cut around the mask? How does that even work?
It
Did she have like poles, like those bush trimmer, like hedge trimmers with the long poles at the end, and she had to like stand 6 feet away from you?
Yes, that's totally how that worked.
I can totally see that.
No, fun fact, I also got my hair cut this week.
What?
But I did not have to go an hour out of my way.
The Mel
I
special.
just needed to go to the living room because my wife cut my hair cut.
Yeah.
Or cut my hair.
I love my
my
wife.
haircut.
I
Cut my
love
hair
Kristen.
What does that mean?
But no.
You don't
no.
trust her that much? Sorry, Kristen. Mark does not.
She doesn't trust her that much.
No.
I mean, my wife cuts our dog's hair. I mean, how different can
Yeah.
it be?
Yeah, your hair looks just like Maggie's hair, for sure. Look at those white curls.
But yeah, so she cut my hair and a weight was lifted, literally, and I feel so much better now. And I'm super thankful. And I know that there are many people out there who are not able to get their hair cut or have to get the home treatment. And by the way, to answer your question, we actually met up at the church, and we have like a picnic pavilion, like a covered picnic pavilion.
Okay.
And so she was able to sit at she had a chair and everything, and she just set me up and
All right.
cut my
Nice.
hair. So
Nice.
Very nice.
I am free at last.
Thank God Almighty. Free at last. Speaking of freedom, Patrick, you've been living
Hi.
that free camping life. Enjoying some camping.
Some
How magical
camping.
was that? I know how much you love camping, so I can only
Yes,
imagine.
it's one of my favorite things not to do. So, yeah, with this whole coronavirus thing, we had our camping trips canceled and refunded and things like that. But that does not stop us from camping. We have a really nice big backyard, covered trees and everything. We got a fire pit.
Yeah.
So instead of going camping, we brought the camping to us. We just got our camping camp all that stuff just out, just like we roasted marshmallows, we made some s'mores and hot dogs, got the tent out and got all the the air mattresses, and we had a nice night. We had we watched Onward on a projector on
nice.
Our neighbor's driveway on
Epic.
their garage door. So yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was like 55 degrees, so it was cool. Where the fire was really good and really nice. But yeah, I had the worst night's sleep. We went to bed about 11 o'clock, and the kids woke up at like 5:45.
Oh,
like,
no.
ready
Oh,
no,
to
no.
go.
The sun came
And I'm
up, and
like-
so did your kids.
I'm like, no. So I was like, well, there's nothing I really can do because I can't shut my door or go to the other room because we're in the same tent.
Yep.
So-
Pioneering it.
Yeah. So, but it was nice. It was, my kids love camping. My wife loves camping. So I'm not going to not go camping, especially if it's in the backyard. How can I say no? It's like, nah, I got other things to do. It's like, no, you don't. Coronavirus is going on. You have no plans. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was good that we didn't have to go like when we go camping for like 2 days. Or 3 days.
Right.
My wife would like to camp for longer, but with it being just one night, it wasn't raining or anything. Perfect night for it. So
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
You are
cool.
a braver man than I. I can't stand camping.
We don't have grass here, so it's no fun to camp on concrete. Let me tell you that much.
You're right. You're
Very
right.
uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable.
What also happened this past week was the NFL draft. I know you guys are totally into the NFL draft.
Yeah. I heard
Maybe
that,
in an alternate universe.
I heard they had so few to pick from, they redrafted Tom Brady, and he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We're not going to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Oh, sorry for your loss, Mark.
Yeah.
So
Him
we
and
had
Gronk.
yeah.
that's
Gronk's like,
true.
you know what? I'm unretired,
He
and I'm gonna go
redrafted
play
again?
again.
Oh, my gosh. Where did he go?
He
Tampa
went to
Bay.
Tampa Bay as well.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. the new New England Patriots, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So, with the NFL draft this past week, we had our own little draft in the Novosel household. Our kids are snack fiends.
Ugh.
It is insane. They always want to eat.
They're not
There's
the
nothing
only
else
ones.
to do. You know, like when you're watching TV or you're watching a movie, you're like, you know what? This needs a snack. That's the way they are all day long.
You know what I'm breathing?
'cause there's-
You know what this breathing needs? A snack.
You know what this snack needs? a snack.
A snack on a snack.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, dog.
So
We know you like
so we bought one of those like 28 count big boxes of like the it comes with like Doritos and Funyuns and chili cheese Fritos and things like that. So we had like 28 bags. So we did a little snake draft, and because they're eating so much snacks, you know, the other kids like, I didn't get any because she ate them all. Yeah. It's like, all right, we're not gonna have this. We're gonna have our own draft. We're gonna draft our snacks.
Oh my
gosh!
We're
gonna draft.
Drafting your foods. It's gonna, you know, this is gonna expand outside of snacks soon if this works out.
Yeah,
drafting your dinner. If you don't draft your dinner, sorry, you don't get
consoles that everyone's gonna have to draft their own gaming console into their room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had first overall pick. I gave Clark the option. I was like, okay, you can either have the first pick and you can choose whatever you want, or you can be last and you can pick 2 in a row. And he's like, I'll pick 2 in a row. I was like, sweet. All right, cool. I get first overall pick. I picked myself some Cheetos, and the next 4 picks, the chili cheese Fritos off the board, and I didn't get it. I didn't get any, and I was like, dang it! I should have gone there with the chili cheese Fritos. I thought I was being smart, but no, I didn't realize the kids love chili cheese Fritos. Now I know.
You always go for the chili cheese Fritos.
I feel like I need to trade a couple of my snacks to get a chili cheese Fritos. It's like, how would you like Doritos and a pack of Lay's for chili cheese Fritos?
Oh man, cutthroat trading.
No, you want another bag of Cheetos?
let's sweeten the deal here.
No deal. Off the deal.
So yeah,
that's cool.
It was fun.
Nice. Speaking of fun, Mindy and I had a whole lot of fun having a little talk with our daughter this past week.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh no, is right. Talking about the birds and the bees and the sycamore trees. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I don't remember how it came up. Nothing happened with Natasha that like gave us a red flag. But ever since she's turned 10, and ever since Patrick talked about some time ago, showing Claire that video about, you know, pretty much just where babies come from, and just kind of just laying out some keywords that, you know, are important to talk about when it comes to understanding sex and the birds and the bees and stuff, where babies come from. I've just had this nagging feeling that I need to get ahead of it, and I can't leave it to kids at school. I can't leave it to any other source than Mindy and I, because I feel like when I was a kid, my parents never sat me down, never talked about it. And not that it's a huge common thing for parents to really talk with their kids. I think that's a lot of movie stuff and a lot of, I don't know, maybe it's like good on paper. I don't really know. From my experience, parents didn't talk to me about it until it was too late. Like I already knew everything and I knew too much. And I didn't want to be like that with our kids. I want it to be comfortable where they can talk about it. They're not ashamed. I want them to share their doubts. And so we were like, you know what? We got to get ahead of this. We got to talk to Natasha. One thing that happened when she turned 10 is we extended her bedtime 30 to 45 minutes every night. So every night we'll walk upstairs. James will, our son will be put to bed, and then Natasha will just say, okay, you can play in your room. We do have plans to eventually start watching a TV show with her, like a few times a week, kind of as an extra like time with her parents and that kind of stuff. But we decided one night, hey, let's show her that video. It's only like 2-3 minutes of this little conversation that I think it's a tiger or these zoo animals,
like, animals with
animals with
also.
humans, kind of just chatting together in this like a mix of science / just like, hey, birds and the bees, and so Mindy and I watched it and we're like, okay, we're going to talk about this. We showed her the video. And we kind of related it to stuff that we had seen in watching like National Geographic, because you have those moments where the boy lion will jump on top of the girl lion, and the kids are like, "Well, that's a funny way to fight each other." Like, yes, that is what they're doing. And so, kind of connecting it back to that, and like seeing the look on her face when I connected what the animals were doing, she was like, "Oh, that's what they're doing." I'm like, yes, they're trying to make a baby. And we introduced the S word. We talked about sex, and she was so like cool with it. Like, she didn't act weird. It wasn't like, why are my parents talking to me about this? She was fascinated with how babies are made. She was fascinated on how, like, the relationship between a man and a woman can produce a child. And, you know, we didn't go into the great anatomy details. She knows what, you know, the swimmers and the eggs and, you know, the things that match up and that kind of stuff. She understands that all now. And ever since then, she's like, when are we going to have another talk? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm done. No,
I must know more.
Yeah, exactly. She wants to know more. She's really fascinated.
This is 101.
She doesn't want to know more about sex.
The next course isn't available for another 12 months.
Exactly. In my mind, the next talk is Mindy talking about the period and, you know, the time of the month.
That's another 12, 24 months, you know.
Exactly. So I'm like, sorry, we're not doing that exact thing again. So that's been kind of fun.
Yeah.
But that was like the big family event, I guess, for the week.
I'm glad you were able to do it now while she's interested in it, rather than she's 13 and she's like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. You know, where she's learned it from somewhere else, and whether that's the right way or wrong way, you know, to getting ahead of it, it's very important.
And we asked her, we were like, okay, what do you know? What have your friends talked about? I mean, we didn't do it in like a where were you on July 24th? It was more like what do you know? Tell us. Swear to me.
Where were the other drugs going?
Okay, I want to know what you've heard. Because by the time I was her age, I had heard and seen way too much. And so I'm glad she hasn't. And we've given her a good foundation. And, you know, from there, her friends can talk about it. But I think she's going to be comfortable enough to talk to us. And we'll go from there. So that was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah. And so besides that, we're like struggling and just slogging along with distance learning, homeschooling, whatever you want to call it. At least once every other day, my kids break down and cry. And then the off day, I break down and cry because it's just my kids.
Did you have that talk?
No, not because of the talk. Just because of long distance. This distance learning is, it's a heavy burden on my kids right now. I've never heard them say so much they don't like school. And it's heartbreaking, you know. Like, I know they need to do it, and I know they need to keep up with their studies. I know that I can't put all the homeschooling, you know, curriculum on myself. It has to come from a source that knows what they're talking about. But it's really weighing heavy on them. But we'll make it through it, and we'll come out the other side, and we'll really appreciate going to school, being in the classroom. My kids probably will never complain again about going to school. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. So how about on the gaming front, fellas? What have you been playing? What has been going down? I can only imagine how much wrestling or how much building a wrestler Pat has been doing. Tell me you've at least wrestled with your wrestler and you're not just like deciding the shape of his nose or how long his arms are.
That is a total time suck, is creating your own wrestler. Oh my gosh. I don't know how people do it, because there's like when you get into the creative wrestler, you have the option to choose all different types. You can do like headgear, face gear, neck gear, your top. You can have like multiple tops. You can have multiple pants and elbow pads and knee pads and shoes. And that's just like the attire. You can also go through like their facial animations and then their entrances and then their music. And then you can create shows and arenas and all that. I don't know how people do it, because I tried and I'm like, this is way too much. I don't have the artistic, creative nature to sit down and create all this. Like, as soon as I created it, I created something and it took me probably 2 hours, and I was creating my own pay-per-view. It took me about 2 hours, because once you get into the arena, you can do the Titantron, all the different Titantron looks, all of the arena looks, like the post, the mats, the everything. And then I was doing it for probably, 2 hours. And then, you know how glitchy this game is? This game froze on me.
You lost,
and I lost
everything.
All of my work.
I would never turn that game on again.
So, yeah. So I stopped that, and I went in and I went to this universe, WWE universe, which you can create your own like Raw card, your SmackDown card, and all that stuff, and you go through like a calendar of events leading up to all the pay-per-views for each month. So I did that, which is pretty fun. You can create rivalries. You can create your own championship belts, give people their championship belts. You can create the custom matches. So if you don't like the match, you can create it. You can make it a no disqualification match or steel cage match or Hell in the Cell match. It is wild how many different options there are in this game. And I'm loving every minute of it.
Nice.
Loving every minute of it, which is kind of put Apex on the back burner. I played Apex only 2 times in the past 2 weeks.
How
one
dare
because
you, sir?
I finished the Battle Pass and about 2 weeks ago, right before I got the WWE 2K20. But there's another event coming out tomorrow with a new, I guess there's new body shields event. So I'm going to probably be jumping back into playing that. And then the new season comes out, and maybe, was it 3 weeks?
Is it coming out? May 12th.
Okay, so yeah. So, was that 2 weeks?
It's about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay. So, I'll probably jump back into that. But I also have Gamefly coming, some games coming. I have Moving Out was just shipped today, and Final Fantasy is tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to get it, so I'm going to...
Don't get my hopes up,
cross my
Novosel.
fingers that they ship Final Fantasy VII. So if that's the case, then I'll probably be playing that as well. And WWE 2K20 will be on the back burner.
Yeah, put that pay-per-view crap on the side, because once Final Fantasy VII enters your life, once that Final Fantasy VII remake enters your life, my friend, you're going to love it. I'm making the prediction. You're going to love it.
All right, we'll see.
I think
I'm going to go in there with open eyes, open arms.
That's right.
And if it's
embrace the JRPG-ness of it.
I watched Ed Placencia Twitch. It was one of the scenes, and I'm like, what in the world is this scene? Like, is this Final Fantasy VII or a late night show on Cinemax? Like, what am I watching here?
Uh-oh.
I don't know what part of the game it was.
I want to know what part of the game you were watching.
This is what I'm going to get into? What in the world is this?
We'll see. I could probably comment on that, but I don't know what part he was talking about. I am 40 hours into Final Fantasy VII Remake. Since the day it launched, I have played pretty much every day but Sundays. And I'm just taking it slow, enjoying every moment, taking it in. Sometimes I just stop and whatever I'm doing, and I'll just open up my menu. Now, I don't know how deep, Patrick, you like to get into this like RPG stuff, but I will just shuffle around some of my equipment, my what they call materia, which is pretty much what you use to decide what type of magic and abilities you're going to use. And I will reset and re-upgrade. Like, you have a way to reset your weapons to then re-upgrade them so they maybe have more attack power, or they have more magic attack, or they have more different abilities and stuff. And I'll just experiment. Usually you can have up to 6 weapons, and you can experiment with all of them. And I am just loving this game. And all of a sudden 40 minutes will pass by, and I'll be like, I should probably do something that has to do with the story instead of just fooling around with the weapons and the magic stuff. So but other than Final Fantasy VII Remake, I have to say, and I have to confess, every Thursday night, for those that don't know, Patrick, Mark, and sometimes Infinity Bro Isaac, we play on Thursday nights Division 2. Before we were playing DC Universe Online. But Division 2's kind of sinking its claws into me. I found myself thinking about it outside of Thursdays. Like the other day, I just randomly got on and was like, I need to sell some gear. I moved some stuff around. I discovered that you can get experience points for commendations. Like, I cashed those in. I didn't know you could do that. And I got 50 experience points from all these commendations I had gotten. Did you guys know that was in the background?
Are you talking about the projects? So if
I don't know, it's under the commendations page. There's commendations for stuff with pistols, rifles, healing people, all these different things. And when you have to cash them in, they just don't automatically
Okay.
happen.
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So I'll need to do that. One thing, like you, it's got its claws in me. And after we got off on Thursday, I played for probably maybe another half hour.
Did you?
And I was just in the White House, and I was just walking around. And there is this place, the projects, where you can cash in or trade in or give gear to a particular settlement. And
I had seen that.
Some settlements are like, hey, we need backpacks,
You
or
get
we
perks.
need shoes.
Yep.
So if when you're collecting loot throughout, and then
You have like 20
what I'm doing-
backpacks. Can you imagine someone
what I'm
running
doing is
around
I'm
with
just
20
going,
backpacks?
going to the main guy, and I'm just selling it all. I'll just sell it all. What we should be doing is going to the projects first and giving it to the settlements that need it before you sell it or break it down.
Yeah, good call.
And that will also give you some extra XP.
Cool. That's good to know.
Interesting.
Tips from Novosel. But yeah, I've really enjoyed playing with you guys. So,
Yeah. That's fun.
So that one's definitely been in the back of my mind. Kind of like, okay, I've played a little Final Fantasy VII. I've played a little Dead Cells. I kind of want to play a little more Division 2. So
Nice.
Mark, how about you, buddy? I know you've been playing a little Apex, maybe another game.
A little bit. I wish I could say Division 2 has its hooks in me. I am enjoying the game. Do not get me wrong. And I enjoy playing with you guys. But it's not like one of those things like an Apex where it's like, man, I find myself...
Yeah, it's not like Apex.
It's like, well, of course not, but like...
Yeah.
Like, I'm not feeling myself gravitate to
Yeah,
it.
I gotcha.
And speaking of not gravitating to things...
Segue.
So I finally got Doom Eternal started.
Okay, nice.
I played probably about an hour of Doom Eternal, and I was like, okay, so this is it, huh?
Shooting demons in the face. Come on, man. You're a Christian man. This is what it's all about. Shooting demons in the face with guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Jesus called us to do?
In some way, shape, or form, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think about it that way.
See?
You got to look through it at the lens.
You just got to get that right
Lucas
perspective.
just gave you.
I don't think Jesus would call us to get rid of these demons in the way that you do.
I put you on the earth to do this and this only.
You must snap the demons' necks and then rip them apart.
It's part of Revelations.
Of
course.
Revelations. Yep.
But
23rd chapter.
so obviously, I jump into Doom Eternal, and you are the Doom Slayer, the Doom guy.
Doom dude.
Doom guy.
It's literally what they call him, is Doom guy.
Duke
Oh,
Nukem.
really?
Yeah.
Doom guy.
Doom
Okay.
guy or Doom Slayer. And so there's this huge outbreak of, hell has basically arrived on Earth, and you as the Doom guy have to go basically stop it. And
What do they call you up and it's like 1-800 Doom guy? And they're like, hey,
no,
we
you
got
have a
some demons
fortress
over here.
in-
Could you help us out?
Do you know the Doom guy's number?
So you know how the
Get him on the
Justice
phone.
you know how the Justice League has the Watchtower in space?
Heard
Yeah.
of that.
The Doom
I've gotten
guy
lost in
has
there.
a fortress in space.
All right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And
Sure.
he's literally watching over the Earth, and he's hearing all these distress calls from people, and he's like, okay, I'm going down, I've got some demons to kill. And that's literally how the game starts.
How do you not like this
sounds
game?
like
This sounds magical.
Like a flimsy story from the NES days.
Yeah.
All right, now we're in it.
And so I'm like, okay, let's go. And so the problem with me, the gameplay just gets so repetitive. You can only snap so many demons' necks and cut them apart before it's like, okay, this is getting a little boring to me, and a little there's story, but it's not woven through in such a way that it's like, okay, I'm compelled, I'm interested. It's like, okay, here's a room, got to get rid of all of the demons here. Okay, now you can move on. Okay, there's some more demons here. Let's kill those demons. Okay, move on. there's nothing. The story isn't really. It's just like, here's a room, kill some demons, move on, and then there's like a big boss at the end. And so it looks beautiful. You know, they did a great job with the graphics and everything. Mm-hmm. But after an hour, I found myself like, I'm not interested in this.
Yeah.
It's not compelling me to play. And that's one of the big things for me about a game. It has to draw me in immediately.
Right.
Otherwise, like, I find it a waste of time.
Yeah.
To play. That's just my way of getting into games. It doesn't happen
Sometimes
like
you
that.
gotta force yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe do a roast cast with Lucas.
Yeah. I'll play it to roast. I'll do the Lord's work.
I'll
kill some demons and we can talk about it.
I'll play it a little bit longer. Try to give it another chance. But I walked away and I was just like, meh.
You know what?
Meh.
You know what's waiting for me on the other side?
Apex.
Apex. Yes. You always have Apex to go back to.
Yeah, it's just, it feels like coming home when I go to Apex.
Yeah.
It's always so much fun for me. And yeah, just like Patrick said, they're doing a limited time mode starting tomorrow, where basically you drop with armor. Normally you drop with nothing. You don't have any armor, any weapons, nothing. And so they're staggering it. So like every few days, like they'll start out, you'll have level 1 armor, which is your white armor. And then after a certain amount of days, you'll start out with level 2 armor. And then after a few days, everybody starts out with level 3 armor. And then the fourth one is, they have what's called Evo shields, where the more damage you do to enemies, the more it upgrades your shield. And so you can't grab, there are no other shields on the map. What you have is what you have. There's shield cells to replenish your shield and stuff, but in terms of getting another shield, that's all you have. And you spawn with a weapon, which typically you don't do. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. They're kind of taking their cues from Warzone there, the Call of Duty Battle Royale, because they do that. You start with armor and a weapon.
I tell you, there's so many times when we're dropping hot, and there's like 2 guys right next to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to find a gun.
Yep.
Where's a gun? You're looting like 4 straight loot bins, and you're like, why are there 4 white shields in here, or why are there 4 shotgun bolts in here?
Remind me, I need to send you a video after we finish this podcast, because there's this video of this guy, like, he drops in artillery, and literally, like, he plays for like 10-15 minutes, and he cannot find a gun. He cannot find a gun whatsoever.
He dropped an artillery. That's like
RNG is working for him real hard.
That's where you should be able to find artillery.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yep. And he found none of that. So
wow.
He just had some bad RNG there.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see. So that's been pretty much my gaming is Apex and some Doom Eternal. But I'll give Doom Eternal another shot. To wow me, basically.
All right. Well, speaking of being wowed, you joiners out there, you're about to be wowed right now because we have a special guest.
Yeah, we do.
She is going to be sharing with us about Apex. She's going to be sharing with us a plethora of different things that I think you're going to enjoy hearing. She is a native of the City of Angels, Flowers and Sunshine as well. And she made her debut in show business at the age of 6 in a Brawny paper towel commercial, as she will share with you later, and is currently an actress, singer, and Renaissance woman in voiceovers. She's the voice of Wattson in Mark's most favoritist game ever, Apex Legends, along with voicing Constance in the mobile game Harry Potter Wizards Unite. She's also in the past been a general pedestrian in GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and also the voice of Little Red Riding Hood in Goldie and the Bear animated cartoon, just to name a few things. She is the one and only Justine Huxley, and we are so glad that she's joined us today and our joiners for the topic of the show. That's right, folks. We are talking about Apex and voiceover legends. Good morning for being an Apex and voiceover legend with our good friend Justine Huxley. Justine, did you know you are our fourth guest on the show? And so I thought it's only appropriate to give our little interview segment a name. So I want to know which one you think is best.
Sure.
We have the GMG Gauntlet, where you're going to get a gauntlet of questions from us and our joiners. It sounds a little violent, but we might be able to get away with it. I'm not sure yet. The other one is GMG Questionee Timey.
Wow.
And then the last one is GMG Gets to Know.
I think I like the Gauntlet the best. Gauntlet is pretty
All right.
cool.
Sweet.
It's a
I was
great
hoping you were going
word.
to say that.
Yeah.
Because I want to do like a real welcome to the GMG Gauntlet.
Go for it.
All right, cool. All right, so welcome to the GMG Gauntlet. To start out this segment, we are going to be doing something that we have done a few times before, but I'm not sure you have participated in this kind of, shall we say, opening to a segment. Are you ready, Justine?
I'm
Patrick,
ready.
Mark?
Yes.
Let's
Do
go.
this.
All right. Well, to start things out, let's play Bamboozled, Apex Edition. 5 questions, 2 decisions, 1 winner. Today's starting order will be from who likes Apex Legends the most to who likes it the least. And we all know who's going to go first. That's Marcus James, who we deem as the one who likes Apex Legends the most.
Yay!
Sitting in the number 2 spot, who I think likes it just as much as Mark, maybe a little less, Patrick Novosel, our second contestant.
Hi, friends.
And then the 3rd spot goes to Justine Huxley, probably because she works at Respawn and Apex Legends is her job, so she probably likes it the least.
I love it. Are you kidding? I love it the most. I get all the insider stuff. I love it.
That's true. Don't worry, we're just kidding. You will not be held liable for what I spoke for you. All right, let's get into question number 1. Question number 1 is going to be using Price is Right rules. In roughly how many hours did Apex Legends pass the 1 million player mark? Mark?
Oh, gosh. 1 month.
1 month. Patrick, how many hours did Apex
Oh,
Legends
sorry. I
pass
missed that
the
part.
$1 million mark?
And I've already failed.
You already lost. That's like 900 something hours.
723 hours.
723 hours. Justine.
Oh, gosh, I really have no idea. Let's say 724 hours.
Oh, Price is Right rules. Here we go.
I've already forgotten. Patrick, how many hours did you say?
She bid $1 more than I did.
Oh, did she? Well, with that $1 more, she did not get the point. Patrick, you get the point.
Oh.
Oh,
Mark, I forget. What was your hours you said? All I can hear is 1 month. Did you stick with 1 month?
Yeah, I didn't get a second answer, so.
That's true. The answer is actually 8 hours. You
Oh
guys
my
blew that
gosh,
one
wow.
way out of the water.
Missed it by
Congratulations.
that much.
wow.
All right. Let's see if we can do better with question number 2. Which developer reportedly inspired Apex Legends' engaging combat system and evolving narrative? Bonus points for naming its 2 games or most popular games. Patrick, is it Blizzard, Bungie, or Ubisoft?
Let's go with Ubisoft.
And could you name 2 games that possibly it was inspired by?
Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs.
Have you played Apex Legends, Patrick? I don't think so. All right, Justine.
Oh, I honestly have no idea.
Uh-oh, this isn't good. You got a 33% chance. Go ahead and guess. Blizzard, Bungie, or Ubisoft?
I'll guess Bungie. I have no idea.
All right, Bungie. Do you have 2 games to guess
Definitely
about?
not.
All right, fair enough. We'll go to Mark.
I would say
Blizzard, Bungie, or Ubisoft?
I would say Blizzard, and I can only name one of them. Overwatch would be one of them.
All right, that is a good guess. And in fact, all 3 of these companies did inspire Apex Legends, but only Bungie inspired the engaging combat system and evolving narrative. Justine scores a point, makes it on the board.
Wow.
All right, Mark, do you want to pick a Wicked Wango card, or do you want to roll the Wheel of Mayhem?
I'll take the Wicked Wango card.
All right, Patrick, you have given your point to Mark. Congratulations. You lost it.
Dang it.
All right. So far, Mark has 1 point. Patrick has nothing. Justine has 1 point as well. Number 3. How many years after the events of Titanfall 2 does Apex Legends take place? Justine.
Wait, gosh, I really should know this. I'm going to say 10 years?
Mark?
5 years.
Patrick?
Is this also Price is Right rules?
That is correct.
5.5 years.
Justine is the closest. It was 30 years after the events of Titanfall 2.
I was going to say 10, 20, or 30. I knew it was somewhere in that range.
It was close enough to get the point, Justine. Good job.
There you go.
All right, question number 4. What is Wattson's real name and age? Mark.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah,
I'm disqualified from this one. You guys can play this round.
That's good that you know your character's background, though. That's good.
Name and age.
Oh my gosh! So her real name is Natalie Paquette.
And age?
Oh gosh, I want to say she's 22.
Patrick?
Nestle Tothause.
Wow.
Samsonite.
And 24.
And
years
Justine.
Old.
Well, I know.
Then go ahead and say it. That's why you were last.
Oh, there you go. Natalie Paquette, and I'm pretty sure she's still 22, but I could be wrong.
That is correct.
Yes!
Natalie Paquette and 22 years old. The engineer behind the modified containment ring, a.k.a. the Ring.
There you go.
Fantastic.
So
all right. Patrick, do you want to feed the hairy dinosaur or pet baby Yoda?
Let's pet Baby Yoda.
Uh-oh. Like that, he did not.
Oh, no.
So he ate yours and Mark's points.
How dare you?
He did. Too bad.
Sorry, Mark.
All right. For the final question, take turns naming every playable character, 1 point for each correct name given, in inverted ABC order.
What is your problem?
Oh my goodness.
Don't want to make it too easy for my Apex superfans.
Oh, goodness.
Patrick, you're the first.
Wattson. Dang it.
Justine.
Oh my goodness. So you're saying do it in reverse alphabetical order? Or
Yes.
is that
That
what you're
is
saying?
correct. You get a
Okay.
point for calling that out.
So wow, Wattson is not the first. Let's see. I'm trying to think of everyone. Gosh.
It does start with a W.
It does
just
start
like
with a W.
Watson.
Oh,
Wraith.
Dang it.
Wraith. There we
That
go.
is correct. 1 point to Justine. Mark.
yes, that's right.
Then Watson.
That is correct. Patrick.
Bloodhound.
That
Wow,
is
you failed.
incorrect. Justine.
After Wraith, after Wattson, I'm gonna say Revenant.
That is correct. Mark.
Oh no. I gotta think about it.
The
Pathfinder.
clock is ticking. That is correct. Patrick.
Octane.
That is correct. Justine.
I'm going to say Mirage.
That is correct. You guys are on a roll. Mark, don't break it. No pressure.
Oh, no. Who's after that?
La 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 la. I guess that didn't help.
Nope, it did not. It did not at all. In fact, it made it worse.
Ticking down the seconds. We're going to have to go to Patrick.
Yeah, go to Patrick.
Patrick.
Look
up here. Look up here.
What?
That's not helping either.
Do you not notice I'm saying words with L's? La 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 la. Look up here.
Why can't I think of this? What, this is on the spot. It's awful.
Before M. Guess we're going to go to Justine. Justine, who do you got?
Lifeline.
Oh my god!
Yes. Next up, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh no. All the ones I keep thinking of are C's.
Uh-oh. Not there yet.
Nope, we're not.
All right, one more before C. Patrick.
Gibraltar.
That is correct. Justine.
Crypto?
That is correct. Mark.
Caustic?
Got a C word for you. That is correct. Patrick.
And Bloodhound.
That is correct. And Justine, one more to go.
Bangalore.
There you go. Congratulations. You made it through all 5 questions of
I didn't.
Bamboozled Apex Edition. Well, most of you did. And the final score was Justine,
Yay.
lots of points, and everyone else, nothing. Congratulations. It's like it was rigged or something. Woo! All right, that was fun. Hey, Justine, thanks for playing along.
Thank
I'm glad.
you.
I think the guys might say it's beginner's luck that you won that, but I think there was something else in play.
Yeah.
It is so good to have you with us, and of course, we want to talk about all things Apex, voiceover, work. You are a renaissance woman of sorts. You do lots of different things, and so we would just like to get to know you, not just talk about Apex, of course, but talk about your voiceover work with other games, cartoons, those kind of things. So with that, I'm going to open up the floor to Mark to lead the way, to kind of lead the discussion from here.
Great.
Not ready.
So maybe Patrick?
Okay, so I wanna ask you, like, how did you get into voiceover work? Is this something that you grew up wanting to do, or did you fall into it somehow?
Sure. So I have always done theater ever since I was a little kid, and musical theater. I've been a singer since I was little. And I used to do I've done professional acting since I was 6 years old. I got my Screen Actors Guild card doing a Brawny paper towel commercial. And
Yes, you did.
yeah,
Seems like a lot of people start there.
yeah. And so when I was about 10, I got my first looping job. Looping is where it's also called ADR, additional dialogue replacement. It's where you go in and basically, for the background actors, you are their voices. So in a big crowd scene, you do the background noises for them, because the background actors who are cast usually are not speaking. I mean, they are speaking when they're shooting, but they're doing it silently. So because it doesn't work with the sound of the main actors. So they bring in loopers or ADR voiceover actors to come in and do all the background speaking. So I got my first job doing that when I was 10 in the movie Vegas Vacation, which was a lot of fun. Yeah.
No way.
But
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, but I never thought I would do voiceover as a career. And since for most of my childhood, I'd been doing a lot of theaters, some more commercials, and then I went to college, got a degree, BFA in acting at SUNY Purchase in New York, in the Conservatory of Acting there, and lived in New York for a while, did musical theater. I did a tour of a musical, and then moved back to LA, and tried to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Did I want to go back to New York? Did I want to stay in LA because I'm from LA? Did I want to try and do more on camera? And one of my cousins was making a living doing voiceover, and he suggested I start taking voiceover classes because of my musicality, that I'm a singer and I have all this stage experience and I could do a lot of different accents. And so he recommended a voiceover teacher, Nancy Wolfson, to study with, doing commercial voiceover. I made my commercial demo with her, and then I was really lucky. I got an agent right away, and I've been doing voiceover for about 10 years, and I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
So we do have a couple joiners. Actually, one of them is my wife. She
Great.
was, her name's Mindy, and she was curious to know how you would recommend for someone who maybe is kind of starting where you did. For example, she thought of our daughter, Natasha, who's 10 years old, that she wants to do, she likes to do voices with me. She hears me do voices a lot where I do impersonations of this silly stuff like Gollum from Lord of the Rings and those kind of things. But
That's fun.
But she kind of fought in following in that and wanting to, be a YouTuber or do voiceover work. My wife was curious to know for my daughter Natasha what you would recommend someone to do to kind of take those first steps into voiceover work.
Sure. So I always tell people that to be a voiceover artist, you really it's called voiceover acting, and you really have to be an actor first. I feel like people think that as long as you have a good voice you can do voiceover. To me, that's not true at all. There's a lot of great voices out there. I have a lot of friends that have fabulous speaking voices, but they can't act at all. They're scientists or they're teachers. And that's awesome. But if you're not an actor, then what's the point of a great voice? It's like saying that you've got a great pen, so you'll be a great writer. It's you have no idea,
Good example.
So, So, you really have to take acting classes. I think improvisation classes are so great. I've been doing improv since I was a kid. That can really help with voiceover. I'm constantly being asked to improvise in my voiceover work, especially cartoons. They constantly want to hear improvisation. Accent and dialect classes are great. Watching people, watching television, watching cartoons, hearing what's current, what's on trend. I also always recommend D. Bradley Baker, who's one of the greatest voice actors, and he does incredible creature sounds and animals in voiceover. He has a great website called iwannabeavoiceactor.com, and it is so thorough and gives you so much information about home studios and auditions, callbacks. I constantly go back to it when I've got a callback, in studio etiquette, how to get situated in LA. It's really fantastic. So I really recommend anyone that's looking to get started. Also, Tara Platt and Yuri Lowenthal, who are voice actors that I've worked with, have a great book out. I forget the exact title, but I think it's like How to Be a Voice Actor kind of book. And I hear that's a great book to
nice.
Read as well.
Very cool. Yeah. Your response actually answers also Brian Bell's question on Facebook. He asked what someone would do who's completely new to doing voices, what they would do to learn.
Yeah.
So that sounds like taking acting classes, kind of observing what's already being done to kind of glean off of that.
Definitely.
And then I imagine then make it your own later on.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back to, you were talking about your singing experience and acting experience and things like that on stage as well. Who are some of your influences when it comes to music and that type of stuff?
Sure. Well, last night, actually, today we are recording on Monday, April 27th, and last night was April 26th. It was the Stephen Sondheim. He's my favorite musical theater composer of all time. It was his 90th birthday concert celebration virtually because we are in a pandemic right now.
Nice.
And it was so incredible. Oh my gosh, I was just a mess. I was crying so hard. It was so beautiful. And he really has done so much for my love of music. And And I have done many Sondheim shows, reviews, concerts of Sondheim. So that has been a huge influence in my life ever since I was a kid. Going to see his musicals, singing with my dad at the piano. My dad's a pianist and composer, singing with my dad at the piano. My dad has been a huge influence on me. He's an incredible pianist, composer, synthesizer player. He was also a child actor, jazz prodigy when he was a kid. My mom is a singer, so she's been a huge influence on me. And in theater, just, all of the greats, Christine Baranski, Bernadette Peters, Mandy Patinkin, all of those incredible, legends of theater.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come from a musical background myself, though I didn't go as much into like theater and things like that, but I went to school for music. So it's always interesting for me to hear who people's influences are. I did a lot of singing in vocal groups and choirs in high school and college and stuff like that. So that's something that definitely interests me, just to see who influences you, who makes you tick in terms of your, musical and acting, abilities and stuff. Also, I guess, what kinds of stage productions have you been in?
Many. I went to high school for acting. I was in the theater program at the LA County High School for the Arts, which is a sister school to the Fame School in New York, LaGuardia. And so I've been in many musicals, many plays, Shakespeare, musical, like pop musicals like Footloose, Grease, more Sondheim musicals like Merrily We Roll Along, Into the Woods. I've been in West Side Story. I've probably been in at least 50 shows or more, so it would take a long time to list all of them.
Oh, wow.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh my goodness. I love.
Had to pick one.
Probably Merrily We Roll Along. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time. I love it so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you were talking about that you watched this concert last night and it was all online. How has this quarantine affected your work life?
So luckily I'm still able to do auditions from home. Most of my auditions were from home anyway. Callbacks were usually, if it was for a cartoon or for a video game, callbacks were usually in person, but now, everything is being done from home. Some of the stuff that I do has been postponed, unfortunately, but totally for good reason. I appreciate, because you really have to be in the studio to do some of the recording that I do. But I do, I'm the voice of the TNT network for their daytime sponsorships, their promo voice. And I've been doing that for the last 3 years, and I do that every week from home anyway. So
okay, nice.
Yeah, so I've been used to doing that
Cool.
for a while. So that is same old. And then I've done a couple other things from home that normally I would do in an actual studio. And it's definitely been a challenge to try and engineer myself. And I have so much appreciation for all of the engineers and all of the studio managers and everyone that works at studios, because it takes a lot of work. It's, when you become a voice actor, you don't necessarily learn the best way to engineer yourself. And it's a learning curve, definitely.
Does with Apex, do they call you every so often to come in and do additional voiceover work, or how does that?
Yeah, for each new event or each new season, we do additional voiceover work. That's why you hear new lines every season.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering if that was done ahead of time or if it's just done ad hoc as they come up with new events.
Right, as they come up with new events. Right, yeah. So I'll be doing my first Apex home session pretty soon, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to hear it.
No doubt. And hopefully that MacBook will play nice.
Yes, I'm hoping it will.
with your endeavors to do
yes.
that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to continue on with this Apex talk with talking about Wattson. That there Shelder, one of our joiners on the Discord, he wanted to know, when you were asked to voice Wattson, did you think the game would be as big of a success as it has been?
I had no idea. I joined the cast probably about 6 months after the first, the initial 8 original cast members, the original 8 legends. So it still had not, the game still had not come out yet when I joined. It was a few months from coming out. So we really had no idea. And, they didn't do any marketing before the game came out.
No, they did not.
Right.
No, they
so
didn't.
we really had no idea how it was going to go. You do some things that you think are going to be a huge hit, and you do other things that you think, oh, great, I did this, and then moving on. And I just had no idea. I mean, I thought it sounded cool. Going in, I loved recording with the folks at Respawn, but you never know. I was hoping it would do well, but yeah, you just never know with these things. So I'm so happy and so pleasantly surprised that the numbers are just insane. The millions and millions and millions of people play this game every day. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a few folks now.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just quite a few. In regards to, after you did all that recording and finally get to hearing the voice, and now, of course, you have experience with voiceover work, but maybe in particular seeing Wattson portrayed on the game and that kind of stuff, seeing it all come to life. Victor Mendonça on Facebook wanted to know, you guys, or no, he gave a lead-in for the question, and I don't need to read that. He wanted to know what it was like for you to first hear your voice on the final project in the game.
It was so exciting. The first time I heard my voice in the game was when I played it for the first time at the EA Play Con. It was incredible. I was able to play test Wattson before it was available to the general public. You could only play as Wattson at EA Play the month before Season 2 came out. So it was so exciting. I couldn't believe it. I did not do very well playing.
I was just going to ask follow-up question. Did you win?
It was so bad. One of the devs, who's a friend of mine, Jason Garza, he asked me, I was like flailing and falling into the water, and he was like, do you want me to just take over and you can just listen on the headphones and hear your voice? I said, yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that. So that was pretty great. Yeah, it was very exciting.
So then, follow-up question with that. So I know, like, when for people when their jobs, they're not necessarily into what they are working for, and that's the same with like voiceovers. Just being a voiceover doesn't necessarily mean you are a gamer. So is gaming something you are into?
I hadn't been doing gaming before doing voiceover work. I didn't know much about gaming. I didn't even think about video games when I started doing voiceover work. I thought mostly cartoons, commercials, even maybe promos, because I'm not really in that world. I had been in the stage world for so long. And so it was such a cool thing to learn. I'm not a great gamer. I have fun when I do play Apex, but I'm not the best at it. I'll tell you that.
Our guy on Discord, Grand Popsicle Travis, he did want to know in regards to gaming, did you have a favorite game growing up when you were like much younger, maybe, in the 6, 7, 8, 9 years old area?
I loved board games when I was a kid. I was obsessed with board games, and
nice.
like Sorry, Ready Set Spaghetti, Don't Wake Daddy, all those
oh my
90s games.
Don't Wake Daddy.
God,
That's a good game to play in our house every day.
Oh my gosh. And I loved pinball. My dad used to own a music recording studio, did some voiceover, but mostly music. And in the lobby, there were I think 3 pinball machines. Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park pinball, the original Addams Family pinball, and there were 4. There were the original 1960s Star Trek TV show pinball machine, and the original Star Wars pinball machine. So good.
Oh my!
Yeah, my favorite is the Addams Family. I'm probably the best at that one. I'm pretty good at that one. I love it.
Nice.
And almost every year, my boyfriend and I go to this incredible pinball convention in Banning, California, which is about a half an hour from Palm Springs, California. And there's this incredible museum called the Pinball Museum. And it is insane. There's probably about 500 different pinball machines, ranging from the earliest, like 1960s pinball machines up to futuristic pinball machines. Ooh, sorry. I don't know what happened with that. My phone just rang. Anyway, there are these pinball machines going from the 1960s to futuristic pinball machines where these pinball machines haven't even come out yet, and they're like digital pinball machines. It's really interesting. And then there's this whole other section of pinball, of not pinball, sorry, of video games that are ranging from like the 70s to now. It's amazing.
I want to go to this.
Yeah, it's really incredible. They're only open a couple times a year. Obviously right now they're not open, but I think they're only open like 2 or 3 times a year, and then I think you can rent them out for private parties. But to the public, we usually go once a year in the spring. But unfortunately this year we didn't get to go. But yeah, it's a really incredible place. You can be there for a whole day and still not play everything.
Jealous.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, going back to Apex, do you interact with your fellow Apex voice actors? Like, are you friends with them?
We're friends, and we have a text chain going. We text each other all the time. I love them. They're so funny. It's one of the greatest group of actors. They're super supportive, super sweet.
Tell me you guys do laser tag. And you do each other.
We
you do your voices while you're playing laser tag and fight each other.
We have not done laser tag, but I did set up a karaoke right before this whole thing happened, like early February, when we could all be together. I would say like more than half of us were able to hang out and go to a private karaoke place and sing our hearts out. It was so much fun. We had such a great time. Yeah. It was kind of like, I wanted to do it also because season 4 was coming out that week, and we hadn't met the incredible Darren DePaul yet. I hadn't met him. Some of our cast members had, but it was kind of like a welcome to Darren DePaul and happy season 4. So some of the devs came, and some of those devs could really sing and really rap. It was amazing. We had a great time.
I gotta ask you, is Darren DePaul a nice guy?
Oh my gosh, he is the nicest guy. So talented. It's unbelievable that he plays this character, because
I was gonna say, not Revenant.
So sweet. He's so not typecasted for this role at all. He usually wears a blazer and a tie. He's such a gentleman and so sweet, and it's so funny that he's playing this role, but he does such a fantastic job.
I'm glad he's nice, because like anytime I play him, I'm like, man, this guy is so rude.
Yeah, and he doesn't sound like that in person at all. He's just such a fabulous voice actor. He's able to really change his voice.
And Darren DePaul, he's done Reinhardt for Overwatch, and he also does Arden in Final Fantasy 15, which is another character who I don't like.
Which one was Arden? I forget.
Arden was like the main villain in Final Fantasy.
Oh gosh! God bless him. I'm glad he went to Revenant.
Yeah, for real.
These two just actually played through the entirety of Final Fantasy 15. And did like a little special episode. It was mostly negative, but
we did our best to be positive, and I actually liked the voice acting of Arden. It was just the way they made his story go. It's not
not a reflection of him.
The Revenant voice actor's fault. It's not a reflection of the voice actor. The voice acting was great. He actually reminded me of like a Final Fantasy Jack Sparrow. It was very good.
Oh, cool! Wow.
So, you guys, we went a little bit into talking about Revenant, and what's really interesting is, that Revenant and I'm not an Apex player, so I don't know all the names and lingo, but what's the voice actor's name for, let's do first name basis.
Darren?
Darren.
Yes, thank you. He doesn't fit the mold of Revenant, his character he plays, which is good because you wouldn't want him to do that
I
in
hope
real
that
life.
no one fits the the role of
Yeah,
Revenant.
that's true.
That would be very frightening.
There are people who fit that in some way, in
Let's
some shape or
hope
another. We
not.
try to stay away from those
Yeah.
people. But for you, how do you relate to your character Wattson? How did you get into the character of Wattson? Like, what kind of what kind of character connecting did you have to do to kind of do that voice? I'm interested to know the process in that, if you don't mind sharing.
Well, first of all, I just love Wattson. I think she's so well animated, so well. Her art is so great. Everything she does is so cute. And I love her French accent. I love that she's French. I took French for about 5 years. 2 years in middle school and 3 years in high school. And so that really helped me with this character and trying to remember all that French again. And also the accent and dialect work that I've done in high school and college, that really helped as well. So that was very, very good that I was able to do that. And I love that she is a scientist. I think it's so cool that they made a female scientist character. I love her puns. I laugh at my own jokes all the time, so we definitely share that. And she's just a really positive person. And she's just like very kind and charming, and I love that about her. So I definitely relate to her.
Nice.
You definitely seem like... Oh, go ahead.
No, she's got some quips in there where she knows she's making a joke. Like, what is it? What's the one of them? I'm currently at the top.
Yep.
Get it? You know.
I love that one. That's probably
so
my
funny.
favorite one. Yeah, that's a great one. Yep.
Yeah, you seem like you're very, like, you and Wattson are both very, like, bubbly in terms of personality. So I don't think it was too much of a jump from yourself to her. I think you fit her very well.
Thank you. You know, the audition was not very long, and it was from home, and there was no callback. They just hired me and cast me initially from my initial callback. So you know, you just never know what it's going to be like, and I don't even think that the initial audition was super bubbly. It was more scientific. It was more analytical.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting how the character had evolved once we recorded.
Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah.
I like how it evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
sure.
really like the fact that, like, I mean, they build up the lore with each individual character, of course.
I love all the lore. The writers do such a great job.
But the fact that your character is, like, integral to the actual inner workings of the game itself.
Right.
That's really cool. Like, she invented the ring. She's the reason everybody gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nice? So, DPS Moira at Bob Razowski wanted to know, do you think Wattson is autistic? She always talks about electricity and the ring. She has a quote, "Electricity, I get. People, I don't." Her banner, her alt imply that she likes silence. Surely an unlikely theory, but do you have any thoughts on that, Justine?
You know, I think that would have to be a question for Tom, one of our writers, or Manny or Ashley, our other writers.
All right, let's give them a call. Do you have them on speed dial? We can just.
They are great at answering questions on Twitter. If you, usually I see them all the time answer lore questions on Twitter, so I think that's more of a question for them. Fair
enough.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, at Bob Razowski. Hop on over to that Twitter and start tweeting some folks. Find it out. Let's see if I can pronounce this. Esethquism.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you. This person wanted to know on Twitter, and you're going to have to help us with this because I'm not sure about it. Could you ask her, you being her, I think, does she think Wattson has a crush on him? I have no idea who him is, because some animation videos on YouTube suggest it. Thank you, and love you, Justine Huxley.
Oh, that's sweet. I think what that person was probably referring to was Octane, because there's some cartoony stuff.
A little bit of chemistry going on there.
You know, I don't think there's any official love. You know,
do we need to talk to Tom again?
Yeah, I mean, Tom. Even Tom has said. I talked to Tom about this in my last recording session, because there are so many ships online, and there's all the incredible fan art. Ships right. Wattson with almost every character except for Caustic. So, you know, I don't think that there's an official ship in the game, an official Respawn ship, but I love that people come up with these great relationships for all the characters. I think it's awesome. I love seeing the fan art, and keep going with it.
Nice. The last inquiry into Wattson's future comes from Static at @StaticDefender_Defender on Twitter. They ask, could you please ask her if she'd be willing to voice Wattson in a TV series of Apex Legends? Also tell her I love her.
Oh, thank you. I would absolutely
Lots of love tonight.
Love that. I think all of us in the cast would love to do an animated series of Apex, or a movie, or, you know, anything Apex related. I think we all really are so thankful for our jobs on this game. It's such a great game, and it's written so well. I'm so excited and honored to be part of something that has so much backstory, like the Bloodhound, the Bloodhound backstory lore video that just came out was incredible. All of the lore videos have been so well done, and yeah, if it were to be a TV series, something like that, that would be so awesome. I know all of us would love that.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about new seasons coming out are those lore videos. And the lore
they're
videos,
so good.
Yeah, they're like, normally they're just a couple minutes long, but this most recent Bloodhound one was 8 or 9 minutes long. And when I hit play, I'm like, 9 minutes? Yes, I'm in. So I would love to see a longer, whether that be a short series or short movie, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I would love to see a 2-hour movie, but I'm not gonna, not
gonna hold your breath on that
choosers,
one.
Hey, tweet Respawn, tweet Apex, tell them you want it.
I will right now.
All right, no doubt, do it. Get a movement going.
We would love that. I mean, the nice thing about doing voiceover is that we can do it from home, and no matter how long this trying and crazy time lasts, the great thing is that we're still able to act from home, which is really great.
That's definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, so as we wrap things up, Mark, did you have something else you'd like to ask? Or
yeah, I guess just a couple more things. Number one, just a kind of summation, what do you think are the best and worst things about being in the voiceover industry?
Well, one of the best things is the camaraderie, and I feel like voiceover actors are so nice. I feel like they are really rooting for you, and so many of my friends, like one of my friends sometimes says, did you get this audition? Because if you didn't, you've got to audition for this, because you're so perfect for this. I can only hear you in my head. It's just so sweet. And, or, did you meet this casting director? Oh, you should meet them. Let me introduce you. Stuff like that. Everyone is trying to help each other. I feel like the friends that I have, at least.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun. I love being a voice actor because there's not a certain way that you need to look. I can play a 7-year-old, I can play a 70-year-old, I can play an animal, I can play an alien. I love that. And I don't have to get into any prosthetic makeup. It's fantastic. So I love it so much. I do, recording sometimes in my pajamas, and I also love that.
That's incredible.
No shame in that.
Yeah,
that sounds like the life right there.
It's pretty great. Yeah. It's and then I definitely miss one of the negative things is that I definitely miss going into the studios. I miss seeing people. I miss being able to give people hugs. I miss, not having to engineer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
Awesome. I think that's pretty much it on my end.
Cool. Patrick, did you have anything else you wanted to ask?
No, I'm all out of
limerick?
questions. Limerick?
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well, we just had one more thing, and this is a randomness quickfire from our very own Barnaby Butterteeth.
Go for it.
If only we had enough time to explain why he's called Barnaby Butterteeth, but we don't. Don't want to get off the path. All right. So here we go. Justine, we just have a few questions for you. You can try to answer them as quick-fiery as possible, but we all know here on the Good Morning Guys that we're not good at making quick-fires, so we're not going to expect you to just, blurt out one word or two words. You just go where your heart leads you. Here we go. First random question. What is your dream project?
Ooh, dream project. I would love to someday be on Broadway. I would love to do an original musical, originate a role in a musical on Broadway. I would love that so much.
I can.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can what?
Oh, I was just going to say, I can see it now. Apex Legends, the musical.
Apex Legends, the musical.
Singing as Wattson.
Well, we're,
Yes.
Manny, our head writer, he does write musicals. So we're trying to get him to write some music.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Mark, get these tweets ready. We're start
hoping.
tweeting them.
We'll see what happens.
Apex Legends, the
Get
musical.
on that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that would be a dream project. But voiceover wise, I would love to just do more cartoons. I love doing cartoons. So definitely more cartoons.
Nice. Yeah, Patrick and I were talking about earlier, to, of course, waylay this whole quickfire. We were talking about earlier how your Little Red Riding Hood on the
Goldie and the Bear?
What is,
Goldie and Bear.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Goldie and Bear.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Brownie and the Bear? That's not it. Goldie and the Bear. My kids watch it. I do not, unfortunately, but
That's okay.
I usually watch my kids' shows, but they definitely watch it. So our
I'm so
kids
glad.
all recognize your voice.
Oh, awesome.
She
Sounds
plays
kinda
to a
cool.
certain demographic, so
Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not above watching kids' cartoons.
It's a good one.
all right.
It's very witty. I'm really proud to have been a part of that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
The next one is strawberry or brown sugar Pop-Tarts.
Oh, I'm gluten free, so I can't do Pop-Tarts, unfortunately.
I respect
All right, but
that.
if you had to pick one based on the name alone,
Oh,
which one would
strawberry,
it
definitely. I love strawberries.
be? All right, moving on. All right, we're just gonna go with it again. This is all in theory, not in reality. Hawaiian pizza, yes or no?
No.
Oh
No,
man,
not into it. Not into the pineapple on pizza. I'm happy for anybody
Sad
that's
day.
into it, but
All right,
Not
as long
me.
as you're happy
Yeah,
for us.
like it.
I knew you were one of the good ones.
All right, Justine, what do you think of the movie WALL-E?
oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing, but I've never seen it. I've got to see it.
Man.
No, you don't. Don't worry about it.
Yes, you
No,
do.
I've got
Don't
to.
listen.
I've got to.
There's
During
history
this
with
time,
that.
definitely, I need to definitely watch it.
You have to see it. It is a classic. Don't listen to
I
Pat.
know.
Have you ever held a petty grudge? You don't have to give details.
Sure. Hasn't everyone?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we have. How about
I am
this
right
one?
now.
The worst. Yeah. What is the? You want to share about that? You can
Nope,
confess to
sure
it off your
don't.
Chest.
Going back to
Okay,
the Pop-Tarts?
All right, yeah, let's go back to the Pop-Tarts. Hawaiian Pop-Tarts. All right.
No.
Worst pickup line you've ever heard?
Oh my gosh. Worst pickup line I've ever heard. I recently got a DM on Instagram
Oh no.
asking if I would ever consider having a sugar daddy.
What an age
Well,
we live
would
in.
you?
You know,
Ever consider it?
in this time, why not?
I learned something new today.
Oh my gosh. It's like, do you really think that's what's going to get me? First of all, I'm not single, but second of all, it's just, oh my gosh, people, why?
We
Well,
live
in what
in a
universe would that
strange
ever
world.
work?
Right.
Yes. Let's get married.
Yes, I would love to. Yeah.
All right, last hard-hitting random question. Would you ever eat Long John Silver's? This one's for Patrick.
I've never eaten Long John Silver's. I don't even know where a Long John Silver's is in LA.
There is
That is
it's
a
secret
good answer.
society. You have to know.
California sounds like a place I want to live in.
If you ever find one, run as far away from it as possible.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
I live in Brazil, and we don't have Long John Silver's. It's paradise over here.
Wow,
We
where
do have
in
Hawaiian
Brazil
pizza,
do you
though.
live?
I'm in Sao Paulo, the
Wow.
heart of the coronavirus in Brazil. It's a wonderful place.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
That's a joke. The wonderful
yeah,
place.
I didn't think that it.
But it's not a. Yeah, it's pretty serious in the city, but for the rest of the country, it's not been too
Wow.
bad. All right. Well, that wraps up the random questions, and that's all for this conversational glean from the life and work of Justine, our little California sunbeam, who lit up our podcast today with her joyful voice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justine, for joining
Thanks
us.
so much.
Thank you very much.
You are joiners, maybe first-time joiners. If you would like to connect with us beyond listening, remember to check us out on Twitter at the GMG Podcast or Discord. Links on our Twitter profile or in the show notes, where we are greeting one another every morning, afternoon, evening, or night, sharing dad jokes, talking about the latest TV shows, video games, etc. But if you're more old school like me, then you can email us at thegoodmorningguys@gmail.com. Also, if you want to practice your radio voice, call us at what number, Patrick?
That's 1-800 the Good Morning Guys.
Close enough. Not really. Try it again. 1-800-94-JENNY. No, that's not it either. 929-GMG Guys. Leave a message, ask a question, and let your voice be heard. Speaking of being heard, Mark, what are the latest additions to the GMG music playlist that any and all can hear on Spotify and Apple Music?
Yes. So, of course, you can find the Good Morning Guys morning playlist on Spotify and Apple Music. Thank you so much, Bernabe, for holding things up on the Apple Music end while I hold up the Spotify end. And so this week, Justine, typically we like to circle our playlist additions around whatever topic we're talking about. Obviously, we are interviewing you, and I was thinking about your character, Wattson, and how she is largely centered around electricity.
Yeah.
And so I picked several songs that were themed on electricity or electric or voltage
Woogie,
or something
woogie,
like
woogie.
that. Well, yeah, that's showing my cards there. So
Spoilers.
the first song is Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue, which is not a super happy song, but it counts. Oh, you gotta rock down to Electric Avenue.
Nice. Classic.
Cool.
And then Patrick actually submitted, it's a Linkin Park tune called High Voltage.
Nice.
Patrick, did you want to share some information about why you picked that?
Sing it. Don't share information. Sing it.
It's high voltage. You can't shake the shock. So, that's back when I was in high school, I was part of a backyard wrestling association, and that was my name, High Voltage.
Oh, wow.
And I was the hardcore champion.
Cool. That's awesome.
Bet you were.
And that was my intro song for my character.
Nice.
The third edition is, believe it or not, it's called Electric Boogie. It's by Marsha Griffiths. You may know it as the Electric Slide, but that's the dance. The actual name of the song is Electric Boogie. Boogie,
Nope,
boogie,
it's
boogie.
the electric slide.
Yeah, okay. If you want to...
It's what the wedding DJs told me, and they know all things.
No, they lied to you. But yeah, so that's the third edition. And of course, before we did the show tonight, I actually asked Justine, as we do with other guests, if she wanted to pick a particular song to add to the playlist. And the song that she chose is the song Live Your Life from Nick Cordero, which I was doing a little bit of research because that name sounded familiar to me.
Yeah, can I say why I picked the song?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
So Nick Cordero is a Broadway singer, actor, dancer. He's been on TV and film, and he's also a musician and singer, singer of pop music as well. And he is so incredibly talented, and he has a beautiful wife named Amanda Klutz and a beautiful son who's 10 months old. Elvis is his son's name because they're so obsessed with Elvis. And unfortunately, he got really, really sick from the coronavirus, and he is in the hospital right now in LA. It's a really, really heartbreaking story. He went in. He was a totally healthy 41-year-old male, went in with breathing problems, and now he's in the hospital. He had to get his leg amputated because he was losing blood flow to his leg. He's still in a medically induced coma. His wife and son are playing his song every day called Live Your Life at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Time, hoping to wake him up. The hashtag is #WakeUpNick. And I'm thinking about them every day. I have some friends that are friends with Nick that were in Broadway shows with him. And so that's why I'm choosing that song today, because I am thinking the best thoughts and healing thoughts for their family, and hoping that he wakes up soon and that he gets much, much better.
Yeah, we'll definitely be praying for their family for sure. That's a great cause and a great choice of a song.
They also have a GoFundMe. I'm sure that it's Googleable if you just type in Nick Cordero GoFundMe page to help with medical expenses.
Yeah, definitely. I like that word too, Googleable.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Before we wrap things up, Justine, we want to give you an opportunity. Please share with how our joiners, how those listening can get connected with you, find out more about what you're doing, what you're up to, whether it's on Twitter or a website or whatever, whatever plugs you want to give. We're all ears.
Sure. I am on Twitter and Instagram at Justine Huxley. It's my name. Just at Justine Huxley. And I'm also on Cameo, cameo.com/Justine Huxley if you want a video message, a shout out, happy birthday, happy graduation. Yeah. So there you go.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. Fantastic. Awesome. All right. Well, joiners, next week we will be talking with another guest, and this time it's a joiner who should not need much of an introduction. So I'm not going to give him one yet. It's going to be a surprise.
Though if you listen to last week's episode, you already know who it is.
It's spoiling past spoilers, Mark. They might not make that connection. All right. Mark, Pat, Justine Huxley, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners, go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.